we've spoken on this show about parents teaching their kids it's rather for them to be, it's that it's okay for them to be single, right? So I wanted to dig back to why the parents felt that way. That's the only thing that this conversation is about right now. Has nothing to do with present day. It's just saying, why would a parent, meaning your grandparents, teach you that's some of the, not ours, because obviously we had 2-parent household, but there are some people who were raised this way.
There are some people who were raised that way. I agree. But could it be possible that a ideology behind a woman's worth got diminished by being a woman that stayed in the house, and then they pushed independence? Could that be a possibility?
Black women never stayed in the house.
What I'm saying is,
always worked.
Yeah, I never quite understood that. Like, black women stay at home and would just stay at home wives. Like, I just never understood that.
It's not just stay at home. What I'm talking about is the diminishment of the role of a mother. If that's not enough, say you work in a small job and you're a mother, it was reduced to just a mother. Feminism didn't do any of those things. It didn't shame women for being homemakers. It didn't shame women for putting their family first. It didn't shame women for not thinking about being atypical personality types and career focused. That didn't happen. All right.
No, there was a promotion. There was a cultural shift that had happened, and unfortunately, like propaganda and how the media machine operates and works, especially in this culture, it sold an idea and a narrative that the grass was much greener on the other side, away from the men who have always been within your community or proximity, right? And sort of what that has created a division, a long-term division. Like this division has been going on way longer than the Berlin Wall before it went down. Like that's how bad it has gotten to, right? And I will take it one step further. People are so suspicious of one another to the point that they're not even willing to give them grace or a shadow of a doubt. But if you introduce another person who is not of their likeness, they will give that person much more credit and much more grace than they would of one of their own.
I don't got nothing else to say because I already see what this is. It's like, get on black women, but black men can't do no wrong. Everything is no, because every week we talk about black women. We talk about them to the bone every week. Like, we all out there with our titties hanging. Like, come on. I ain't never had my breasts out. Okay? That's all. Y'all talk like all of us are out here doing this stuff.
Who is y'all? Who be saying
Every
that?
time we're on these platforms, we overemphasize the over-sexualization of black women. But when you walk outside, most black women have on clothes. It's the women that y'all put on a pedestal that y'all keep like it's all black women. No, it's just them black women.
Shit, I'm not putting no chick at the strip club.
Of a video that is a black man, he's telling you about his time because none of us were alive in the 60s.
So I put on my glasses because I'm actually about to be anecdotal and 100% transparent. So there's no telling what emotion is about to come out. So there is some credence to that video, guys. And back then, that's actually more common than you might know. Also, they taught those same behaviors to their sons and their daughters. This is to your point, Shan. So I found out about 4 years ago, right before my grandmother passed. My mom passed before my grandmother passed. What led to the divorce between my mom and my dad? Maybe it was 5 years ago, but what led to the divorce between my mom and my dad? Come to find out, my dad was one of those close the shades guys. And my mom would actually hide that from my uncles. She had 2 brothers. And then one day they found out. They went to the house, beat the dog brakes off of him, and that's what kind of led to the divorce. For years as a son, for years I convinced myself that it was the drug conviction that led to their divorce, which made it a little bit easier to blame Mom. But that wasn't the case, come to find out. He would close the shades. That, the reason I believe that is I used to, I split time between two different cities and 2 different states, to one with my mom, one with my dad. One afternoon, it was a Saturday afternoon. One afternoon, I came in and my stepmom was picking herself up off the ground. She also hid that from her brothers, and she's from a big family. Until one day they found out. And they're no longer together. So there is some truth to what Shan Monet is saying, and some truth to that video. But I will also say there's a lot of truth to what Marcus is saying. I think that is the minority, and I think it's a very, very small minority. I don't think it's widespread. But what I will also say to this same subject, my mom lived in the projects. The projects is a matriarchy. There aren't any men in the projects, really. There aren't very many 2-parent homes in the projects. So they get the opportunity to feed their children whatever BS and whatever story that they can concoct as to why the dad is a no good, ain't crap dad. Mm-hmm. They get to do that, which I think has tainted a whole generation and a half. Now, I'm not saying that all of it was lies, but as the mom, you get to feed whatever narrative you want to feed the kid. So it's unfortunate. I wish more women knew how to take accountability, because I actually truly believe that women have an issue with taking accountability for their actions. And I think that's the majority of women that have a hard time of taking accountability for their own actions, which is why many daughters in the hoods or the projects and those extreme poverty situations don't learn the lessons that they need to learn in order to be more productive later in life. We don't see women taking accountability. It wasn't until this week where I fully understood exactly what Marcus was talking about with Ebony K. Williams. It wasn't really until this week. Marcus actually had a very valid point.
AP, she only did that because she was getting beat up. It wasn't because she chose to do
that. I don't think that was the case with her, but she won't take accountability. She won't own it. She won't own her part to make changes, the necessary changes, in order to be a properly functioning either wife or life partner with a man. So she's choosing to give her kid an outcome that is likely to not be the best outcome for the kid if you had 2 parents, a man and a woman, to raise that child. I'm just gonna land the plane there. I'm really getting in my feelings a little bit. I appreciate y'all letting me